He did tweak it. He told me it's not serious. So he'll come in tomorrow and get treatment, and we'll check it out. But the good news is Steph does not think it's anything too serious.
Hi, Steve. Brian Wood with NBC Sports Bay Area. Both sides got off to a bit of a slow start tonight. I'm wondering, do you think that what happened earlier today in the Capitol had anything to do with that?
I thought both teams were playing great defense, Brian. There was a strange energy in the air at the start of the game, and that may have been a factor. But I saw two teams really competing, and we have gotten so much better at the defensive end over the last week or 10 days. And the Clippers, obviously, after last night's loss to San Antonio, I thought they came out and played a great defensive game. So maybe a combination of all that.
What do you think was the largest offensive issue for you guys tonight? Not a ton of rhythm or flow. I mean, we played a team that's going to be, at full strength like they were tonight, one of the best defensive teams in the league with a ton of length. And so they did a really good job. I thought they played an excellent defensive game. They hounded Steph, and we couldn't find a rhythm. But I was really proud of the guys. I mean, they hung in there the whole game. Our second unit, led by Eric Paschall, came in, did a fantastic job in the fourth to help us take a lead, and we had a shot. But give the Clippers credit; they played really well.
He used Andrew Wiggins to guard Kawhi Leonard. Is he basically your prime wing stopper at this point when you're going against guys like Kawhi?
Yeah, Andrew and Kelly both. There's in this league you have to have size and length on the wings to guard people like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So both Kelly and Andrew have been really good defensively. I thought they were excellent again tonight, and so it's a really positive sign. I love this team. I love our guys. They're great guys. They They're competing like crazy. They're absorbing things. They're getting better every day. And it's fun to see them every morning when I come into the gym. So this is a really, really good group, and we're going to improve quite a bit over the course of the season.
Kate Rooney from Cron 4. You mentioned that you've seen these guys make some defensive improvements over the last couple of games. What adjustments have you seen them make?
I think Draymond's return is the biggest thing. Kate, he's the best defensive player in the world. He guards everybody. He keeps the defense connected. And so the combination of his return plus, everybody starting to understand what we're trying to accomplish defensively, I think that's the reason for the change.
CJ Peterson, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, you mentioned you like that lineup with Wiggins, Bazemore, Lee, Paschall, and Watermaker, particularly in the fourth quarter, that really kind of kept you guys around, especially when LA kind of threw their starters back in. What do you like particularly about that group, and what makes them really so tough as far as defensively and making some shots too?
Well, we've got shooters in that lineup, and we've got Eric Paschall to play through. We've sort of just discovered this lineup over the past week since Marquise's injury. It shifted Eric to the 5, and he looks very well suited to that role. He played 20 minutes. He got 14 shots up. So he's an offensive force, and with that group, he's got shooters around him, and we're going to get him the ball quite a bit. So I think it's been a good fit. I think Kent Bazemore has been fantastic. Mike Mulder came in, knocked down a shot in the first half, and gave that group a boost. But I like what the bench is doing overall.
What did you see out of Wiseman today?
I think playing against a great team like the Clippers, a team that has all that experience and length and that does all that switching, it's not an easy team to play against for a young guy. So great learning experience for him tonight. Every day is a help for him. Getting game experience, seeing all the pictures in front of him, and being able to watch the film the next day and make adjustments from there.
Draymond's obviously done it.
Yes, it's over in the sense that they're not the dominant franchise anymore. A dynasty doesn't mean that the same players can once again win a championship eventually. I think Steph's got another chip in him. I think the owners of the Warriors and the front office of the Warriors are enterprising enough that whether or not Klay comes back as his real self, they have enough chips to play with that they can put together a championship team before Steph is done. But that doesn't make it a dynasty. Molly, I always use my New York Yankees as an example. The Derek Jeter New York Yankees won 4 World Series in 5 years and then won again in 2009. Jeter won another one in 2009. You wouldn't say all those years were part of the same dynasty. You just wouldn't. You can pop your head up, win a chip. It doesn't make – what makes you a dynasty is you win year after year. You're in the mix for the chip year after year, and you win some along the way with the same nucleus of players. Those days are over for the Warriors. I do think they have another left in them, but it's not going to be connected to what we just saw.
That was an absolutely asinine opinion as far as I'm concerned, because you can't compare the situation with Derek Jeter and those brothers where they won the World Series in 2000 and then they didn't win again in 2009 to the Golden State Warriors, who won the championship back-to-back, only lost because Kevin Durant got hurt and then Klay went down in Game 6. And then last year, Steph and Klay pretty much didn't play. So if the Warriors come back and they're making the playoffs this season and then Klay returns next year and they win the chip, that means they would have won it with Steph. That means they would have won it with Klay. That means they would have won it with Draymond, which is tagged along the same dynastic on the same
you're picking them to win it next
level.
Year.
Because again, say what?
So you're picking them to win it next year.
Well, when they get back, we'll see how healthy Klay is.
Next year.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's not what I'm saying. That's a ridiculous
so
question.
You're saying potentially
the point is,
can.
if Klay comes up, I'm talking about the same bodies, the same people. So if Steph and Klay won back-to-back titles, went to 3 straight NBA finals, or 5 straight, and then last year, COVID-19 plus the injuries getting away, and this year, next season, Klay is obviously out for this coming season rather than this, and then they come back next year and they win the chip. It's pretty much the same bodies without sans a player or two. But Dre, Steph, and Klay would still be there. That's a part of that dynasty. That's not 9 years removed like the Yankees.
Yeah, I have to agree with Stephen A. I strongly believe that the Warriors dynasty is not over. Long as you have Steph and Klay comes back healthy, 2 guys that don't rely on athleticism, 2 guys that can shoot the ball, from your words, Stephen A.Smith, from the parking lot. One thing I've learned is to never doubt that light-skinned, green-eyed brother down there in the Bay that be shooting the hell out of the damn basketball. And to your point about Draymond Green had a terrible year last year, but Draymond Green is the ultimate role player. And when when Clay gets back, along with Steph Curry, and then you add an Andrew Wiggins, along with a Kelly Oubre, along with a James Wiseman, all these guys coming together, Draymond is going to flourish well because he's now going to be able to go back to that facilitator, that passer, that defensive anchor, the defensive player of the year that we've seen the past couple of years, that how he's able to dominate as an undersized forward man and an undersized center. And then when you look at it, their culture is still there. It hasn't went anywhere. So you look at with Draymond, Clay, and Steph, these guys have at least 4 or 5 more years of good basketball left in them. So the dynasty is not over.
Highly unlikely.
KP, let me say this to Max. Let me say this to Max before we go. Max, I want to be very, very clear about where I stand. A healthy Steph with a healthy Klay Thompson are going to the conference finals at a minimum. I want to be very clear about that.
Well, okay, so those two healthy, which is up in the air, right? Those two healthy are going to a conference finals in a conference with the Lakers, who are also going to be there. Also, the Phoenix Suns, who KP has brought up and are on the way up. The Mavericks, the Clippers, the Nuggets. All of them out the window with a healthy Steph and Clay. Does that make you part of a dynasty? So getting to the Western Conference Finals makes you a dynasty? Wrong. No, it doesn't.
No.
I don't think they're going to win it next year.
I was just answering your question.
I don't think they're going to win it the year after.
I was just answering your question.
And by the way,
I was just answering your question.
Before KD got there,